feeling not super awake because last night I was on Steam kind of late and looking at all these games that are coming out and kind of fantasizing about streaming again, even just like on the side. And it's like, no, I really think God wants me to be seen by the world and to not hide behind a video game. Not like there's anything wrong with that, but that's something that I did, and I feel like that's not something He wants me to do. But it's very humbling because yesterday as well, I was going to apply for some jobs, and there was this addiction recovery meeting that I felt prompted to go to before to help encourage people that might be struggling with viewing pornography. It's something I struggled with a bit. And so I went to that. I met some new people. I felt very lifted. That's where I felt like I needed to be. And that came from surrendering, not hustling. I was going to hustle and just get a ton of things done. And there's value in that, obviously. But I think about if you're hustling and you're doing all this stuff in the wrong direction, you're going to miss out on blessings that God has prepared for you. And I think this is the case. Like, I could have woken up earlier today had I gone to bed at a normal time. But instead, I let playing one video game lead to looking on Steam, lead to like, oh, what games could I stream if I potentially stream? And what I'm doing is I am starting to fantasize about something that's already taken care of. I think that's what you need to understand is like that it's already taken care of and God has new work for you to do. And you can feel comfort and peace in knowing that like um I really feel like God has like closed that chapter and healed me in whatever way needed to happen. And I can just kind of let that go. I can let that be. And if he wants to open that door again, then he certainly can. I just need to make sure I'm putting myself in the places where I will be most effective. Because I was thinking about it, it's like, okay, it doesn't seem like multi streaming from Twitch and YouTube would be that big of a deal. But then what would happen is you'd start having people on Twitch expecting me to be on Twitch as this person, as this video game persona guy, and not like that's bad, but I just don't think that's what I'm asked to do anymore. It's like you need to be willing to do what God has asked you to do. That is rule number one. You think of like Moses leaving Egypt, they would have been cooked if Moses did not raise his staff like God asked him to, walked into the water and parted the Red Sea. They would have been toast if he didn't do that. So it's like, no, you got to be willing to have these 0 days to stack up these wins and be like, no, I'm truly 100% here. I'm 100% just trusting God and not worrying about how, like, if you've put in a lot of work into something else, it makes sense logically sometimes to go back to that thing to try and see if you can make it work again. But the reality is that God knows what's best for you now. And so if he's asking you to let something go, he's asking you to let it go. Last night I also had a dream about the startup that I ended up getting let go of yesterday. I had a dream that my old boss was making tons of money and that, him and everybody they're having this amazing time. And I had a dream that he was like staying at my house or my grandparents' house. It was a weird dream. And I just felt wonky. I felt out of it. And so it's sort of like I know that I'm doing what God wants me to do right now. And the goal, the only goal is to continue to work on myself, design my best life, be patient with myself, but also surrender to any guidance that God has given. You have to understand that he's been in this for a really, really long time. He's worked with tons of people, prophets, other people. There's also been tons and tons and tons of people that God has reached out to tirelessly, and they could not just let themselves give up on whatever they were trying to do and trusting what God was asking them to do. It's happened countless times in history. And yeah, what's up, Luke? I hope you're good, dude. Yeah, just whatever you want to share. I mean, you can go for it. Yesterday, I went back and rewatched one of my old live streams on here called "Letting God Cook in Any Season." See, that's not something that I like did back in the day. Was doing these live streams when I was doing the Twitch thing. And something else beautiful that happened was I went back to some of my old podcast episodes and I found some interviews that I haven't edited yet. And I just felt like it is time to get these out. God will provide a way. He will help. And that this is bigger. This is bigger than the gaming YouTube stuff. This is bigger than that. So you need to completely pour all your resources into it. And so I don't know, it's just really interesting that I could be so easily persuaded and led to be like thinking about that again, to do the gaming YouTube thing again, to even just like sort of sneak it in there. It's like, oh yeah, I could like multi-stream it. I could like have this audience and that audience. But what happened? It was a mix. It probably wouldn't work out. It wouldn't be for the best for me. Like the best of the best of the best, right? Like you would probably get some views. You'd probably maybe even get some subscribers. You'd probably make some people happy. But what I'm ultimately here to do is to please God. What I'm ultimately here to do is to please God. And He's given me this life. He's given me second chances. He's given me third and fourth and fifth and sixth chances. But at some point, you have to understand it's like, okay, like if it's something that God has asked you to let go of, He doesn't even want you to think about it. It's okay to think about it. It's okay to think about, oh, what if that thing had worked out? It's okay to do that. However, you are wasting your time and energy. So what I'm going to do, oh, by the way, I did end up putting all those things on Facebook Marketplace, which was good. But I'm just being reminded that my surrender will bring me closer. It will bring me farther than my hustle will. It's just how it works. Obviously, hustle is going to be very important. Obviously, without hustle, you're not going to get anywhere. However, you need to make sure that you are willing to surrender and be like, all right, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm using my time. This is what I'm doing to build up the kingdom. We all build up the kingdom in different ways. And I was in the gaming sphere for a little bit of time, but I just was like, let's make sure, let's just make sure that we don't waste this life. Like I really feel like I'm in this season where I'm at the gates of so many blessings. Heaven is opening the gates. However, you have to be willing to actually walk through that. You have to actually be willing to stand there with your hands open and be like, I'm right here and I'm not moving. I'm just going to receive the blessings. It's sort of like at the end of some levels in a video game, and it's like, oh, you got all these bonuses, and it just gives you all these little bonuses. I think video games have helped me to see things in a different way. I think it's helped me to understand progress in a different way, and I still play video games. It's just streaming it just feels like I'm not supposed to do it, which is fine. I could change in the future or something. But it feels like right now I need to make sure I'm just like doing this video to you thing, so we can have like a deeper conversation. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm still like we're doing a little bit of flipping and flopping a little bit. But it's humbling because the flipping and flopping led to me staying up way too late, looking at Steam games and finding out which games would be good to stream, even though I know that like that would probably be a waste of time. And then I sleep in till like 10 o'clock and I miss the accountability call I was gonna have with my friend. And that's okay. All right, story of the garrison demoniac that Jesus cast the legions of demon out of. Could have been someone like that. He had crazy strength. He was naked. Yeah, which is something I would think about. Yeah, I mean, like the reality is that anytime that we choose to lean on our own strength, to lean on our own wisdom, to lean on our own understanding, we are going to miss out. I think of like times in my life where I've had the thought, oh, I should bring my laptop. Oh, I should bring this book, or I should bring this. And I'm like, that doesn't make logical sense. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to carry that extra weight. And then lo and behold, I'm at that place and the guy's like, oh, I've been really wanting this book. And I'm like, dude, I had the thought to get that book. What am I doing? It's like, or I have this like 3 hours of doing nothing time where everybody's talking to other people. And I'm like, bro, I should have brought my laptop. It's like God can provide all the entertainment you need, dude. God is all the entertainment you need. God is all the abundance you need. He's all the entertainment you need. He's all the reassurance you need. Obviously, it'd be nice to have a girlfriend right now, obviously, that I could talk to about some of these things. She would help me to stay on the right track. should help me to like become more excited about the vision that I have and to not be scared of it or anything like that, to just go forward. But obviously that's not in the cards yet. So, and and yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like surrender will take me farther than hustle would take me in the dating realm. Again, I understand that what I'm talking about is not going to be very in line with modern culture, but I don't really care because I've literally had times where I had this internship offered to me and I chose to not take it because I'm like, I feel like this is not what I'm supposed to take. And then like just a couple weeks down the road, I end up working at this job where I make twice as much. And it's a job, not an internship, but it still works great. And I'm able to recruit multiple people and it works out great. So that surrender is key. I've been doing pretty good at the surrender. It's like, all right, not much has really happened. Got a few new subscribers, maybe had a couple cool experiences, and I'm just going to bed. I'm just going to bed and we're just keeping this nice and chill. We're not trying to entertain any old stuff. But last night I was like, oh, well, I was having such a good time. I was playing Sonic Generations. I was playing these games. I was having such a good time. I was just vibing. I was like, man, it would be, I really feel like it would be a blessing to people if I did stream these. But the feeling is guilt. Not maybe not guilt. It's like maybe this feeling that I feel obligated to share. But what God is kind of helping me see, it's like what I've given you is valuable. Like people would pay money for this. And so you need to position yourself that way, not give yourself away so quickly. And a good example of that is doing this. Like with video game streams, you often go for like 2, 3, 4 hours straight. But with this, it's like I hop on for 30 minutes. If there's more people on, maybe we go for like an hour, and that's kind of it. Like I do plan on doing bigger, bolder stuff, but it's all for the kingdom. I don't plan as much as fun as I'd like it to be to open up that video game thing again. Maybe I could see myself maybe doing some other thing if it bless my soul, bro. Holy cow. Um like a magazine subscription or something. Why do people buy Vogue or Popular Mechanics? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've started working on a newsletter that's paid, where I would make probably way more money than I've ever made from doing any kind of video game streaming. Plus, it's something that I enjoy doing. Plus, it's something that expands my mindset. Plus, it's all this other stuff. Um, but so it has to be a complete commitment. That's what it is. It's same thing when I'm married. It's same thing when any of this happens. When I get in a relationship again or anything, it's like no, this is who I'm focused on. This is who I'm here to bless. I'm not entertaining any other options. There's a lot of people that they'll be in a relationship and they're going on other dates. It's like, nah, bro. Once you're committed like that, like you are there. And it's humbling because with covenants and with stuff like that, it's like you're basically married to God. Like he's chosen to stay with you and to trust you and to give you certain blessings that he does not give those people that he does not like commit to. And still, um, we have little moments like last night where I give myself grace for it. I give myself grace. I'm willing to talk about it literally right after it happened because I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. It's so easy to be like, oh, like I really want to help more people. Well, it's like, well, sometimes you want to help the right people, the people that are actually going to move you forward. Because the gifts God has given me have not meant to just we just kind of play around the sandbox for a while. He's given me gifts that are meant to go into new oceans, to explore uncharted territory, to literally like change how some people think about things, to lead and bless many, many lives. But that cannot happen if the person in question, me, is like, oh, I would like to stream this little thingamabobber. I'd like to play this like video game and I'd like to do this or that. He knows. He knows. He also knows about other things that I would like to have done better or like to do even now to get out of the situation I'm in. But the thing is, deliverance, immediate deliverance, is a beautiful thing. However, it's usually not what you quite expected. And so the best blessings are going to come. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now because this needs to be said. It's going to happen from surrender, not hustle. Because how people respond to you is very much how you what you are wearing, like the message that you're sending. And so if you're a lot of people when they see a video game creator, right? They're looking at, okay, obviously I can talk. I can be interesting when I talk. However, it's like, well, how into this is this person really? And the answer for me with the video game streaming, it's like, well, it's something I did in the past, and I'd be doing it as like a thing, just a thing to like let's double reach. But what I know I'm supposed to do is to share more scriptures, dive into that kind of stuff, and that's what I'm supposed to do right now, right? I do believe in the past, like there was times where I was like, God was like, "Hey, just go crazy with the video game streaming," and I did. I don't think I went nearly crazy enough with building it up. Could have had more content, et cetera, et cetera. But it is what it is, right? So now we're in this season, so we got to make the most of this season. The worst thing you can do when you're in a new season, I already know this, but I'm saying it again. The worst thing you can do in a new season is wanting to go back to the last season, but oh, I want that again. I want that again. And you're thinking about it. It's like, oh, I'm sure I could call this person. I'm sure I could do this. And it's like, no, because there was alignment. We gotta have a visual for you today. We gotta have a visual. We can't do this. Oh, let's see. How are we gonna do this? I don't know. The plates, the bread. See, this is where we're having fun. Like we couldn't do this on a video game stream. That's the reality. Like me throwing all those oranges, it's chilling. God is teaching me to just chill. Just show up and chill. That's it. All right. So very, very simple. Very, very, very simple. It's this. It's like, oh, if I just do what God's asked me to do, He is going to help me out. It's going to work out. It's going to be okay. Um, and that's just how it goes. That's what He's always done. Moses, like I said, he could have been a prince. He was a prince. Well, he was going to choose which kingdom he was going to follow. It's like, all right, you're a prince, born to be a prince. You need to live here. And he knew that God was telling him, hey, I got to get out of here. I'm not supposed to be here, et cetera, et cetera. We're just going with it. All right. We're just going with it. All right. All right. We got the Kirby pajamas because, like I said, I literally just got up, had this dream about all these things, had these things happen. God will bring you. God will bring you the bread. God provides the bread. He'll make sure, that you got bread. But what happens sometimes is that all the bread's out. We gotta get the. All right. We're doing this right now for all the folks at home. We're doing this right now. Maybe someone will watch this like 2055. I don't care. Whatever. See, what happens is that this is the new blessing, right? This is not open, bro. This is not opened yet. Do you see how much bread is in here? That's a lot of bread. You can make a lot of sandwiches. You could feed a lot of people. What happens is when you're trying to go back to an old season, right? You think, oh, there must be still some bread in there. The reality, all of that bread, you probably didn't get all the bread out. Maybe you didn't get all the bread out. But the point is that it's gone old. It's old. Whether you got it all out, see, you can have this last season. This plate represents last season. Don't worry, I'm going to eat all this later. I'm not going to waste food. But this needs to be done for the visual. See, this is last season, right? And if I was going to upload this to the podcast, I literally have like 12 slices of bread on this little plate. That's last season. This is last season. Oh, no, no, no. It's starting to fall over. That's gone. That is gone. See, now, what's happened... What's happened is instead of this paper plate, right? You got this paper plate, right? You see how much this paper plate can hold? Probably not that much. But it can hold this much bread. Now, you have this. God's like, boom, you're ready for something bigger. You're ready for more. You're ready for more than what you could hold before. So, you obviously need to get the new bread. I'm not going to take it out because that would be a lot. Well, I mean, we might just do it. I don't know. Maybe you'll be like, all right, well, God, I'll trust you with this blessing. I'll trust you with the new stuff. It's like, all right, well, I'll just get this out. All right, cool. Yeah, let's do that. So you get it out. You get some bread here. All right, cool. You realize you got all this space still. And what if you're like, oh, what would be great for this new plate? What would be great for this? What if we got this back? Like, what if we went back to the old blessing? We're like, oh, we can have the best of everything. We can have the new blessing. Well, we can have the new plate, right? The new weight, the new plate. We can have that. But we can use the old blessing, right? So you're like, okay, all right. Yeah, you're like, okay. And you're like, yeah. And you're just excited. And you're shaking. And you're doing everything you possibly can. All right. I just shook it out. That represents the hustle. I'm shaking, I'm moving, I'm grooving. I'm like, oh, there's got to be something left in here because this used to work so well. I used to have, 10 people in my stream. I used to be doing all this other stuff. It used to be so great. It was such a blessing. You know what we got from that? All that shaking? You see that? You see that? Crumbs. That was from a lot of shaking. Whereas back in the day, all you had to do was sort of like, bloop. That was all you had to do back in the day. You just sort of like tip it over, you show up, and you're just like, all right, yeah, bread, bro. That's all you had to do. But now, you're kind of going back, and you're like, oh, but I want, and you're shaking, and you're getting frustrated because you're hustling, and it ain't working. See, there's some things in my life that I have really, really, really tried the hustle way. I've really tried to be like, hey, let's just do this once. Let's just try it out. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to shake this empty bag. That doesn't work. What it does is it looks like work. It looks like you're doing something useful. But what you're doing is you're missing out. You have this whole bread thing you've not even touched. And meanwhile, this is also going to eventually run out. And so, again, your hustle will take you much farther. We're literally doing this for one person. Somebody could hop on and call me whatever. I could call like a homosexual. I don't know. There's some weird people out there. But I am doing what God asked me to do. I'm choosing to trust the new blessings. That's what we're doing. It's like when you are stepping out in faith, there will be new clarity, new blessings. I never even thought about this bread thing before. That's about as simple as it gets. That I've never had that thought in my life. I've never had that thought about let's just shake it all out. I was like, I'm just going to grab these two things of bread. I don't know how we're going to talk about this. But once I sat down, it just came to me. Boom. We obviously could not do this if I was doing a gaming live stream. I understand that, it's fun and all that other stuff. But I think of how God is healing the inner child, preparing me for new stuff. And it's a big part of that is trusting him and doing what needs to be done at that time. So, yeah. It's I literally just woke up. We're just doing this. We're getting the day started well by doing a quick little live stream. We're going to put this all back. We did this as the visual. It's a very good visual. Sometimes, like, this is a lot of things in my life. It's like you've not that you've exhausted it, but it's no longer for you. There's something better out there. We gotta eat. We gotta eat this food. We ain't wasting food. Um, but yeah, no, I think that is very very close to how it actually works. Is you think that, oh yeah, we got all this other stuff we can do, and truth is you don't really know. You don't know your limitations. You don't know your potential, what's possible. But the thing is, I've learned this lesson so many times, and I'm tired of learning it. So, hence we're making this recording. It's like it doesn't make logical sense, of course. It doesn't make logical sense that your surrender would take you farther than the hustle. But in my opinion, that's exactly the truth. Because the thing is, like, God wants a wholehearted effort. And with the video game thing, I did do a wholehearted effort back in the day. Certainly could have been better. But now that the days are gone, right? We've run out of time. So when do these expire? When do these expire? February 3rd. Dang, this guy's got some time left. This guy's got some time left. He's got till February 3rd. I also want you to understand, like, this plate is a great plate. This is awesome. This you could do a lot more with. This can hold more weight. So when you're going to a new season, maybe God's gonna ask you to carry more. You don't need to carry anything more than except what He gives you, right? And you don't have to go back to something old. You don't have to go back to somebody and be like, hey, can I hold your weight again? Can I do this for you again? It's like no. Remember, you got new blessings in the new season. That's what you need to focus on, right? Let's see how long this guy has. January 15th. So we got to eat this guy up. Because we're going to run out of time. It's going to get old. The bread's going to get old. No matter how good it was, at some point, it's going to get old. So you must be willing to trust God when He says, hey, I love you and I'm trying to get your attention. This thing that you're doing, it was great. It was awesome. However, it is preparation for something new. I don't want you to stay here forever. This is not your final destination. That's tough for me to hear. It's tough for me to hear every single time I've heard it in various circumstances and situations, but nonetheless, it does not change the fact that it's the truth. If it's not your final destination, you're not supposed to stay there, my friend. You're supposed to keep going because your promised land is still out there. There might be something much better. There might, like, for you might have once worked, maybe for somebody else is exactly what they need, and it's gonna like go gangbusters and be go great. Yeah, it's like the Mario music is. But for you, it ain't it. It ain't it anymore, and that's tough. But it means that you're being asked to do something else, and your surrender will take you farther than your hustle will. Because the hustle is like, oh yeah, let's look at all these websites. Let's see how we can do this. Let's make it the best thing ever. Let's make it the highest quality. Blah, 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 blah. And lo and behold, you're underestimating God. If there's anything that I would say, please do not do, because you are always going to be wrong, it's underestimating God. It's being like, God, I understand that this is something that you'd like me to do. However, just with like trends and just with like new technology and just like how I feel about this thing, I think that this would be better. You're always going to be wrong. Because even in the moment where you feel like you're being led, even in that moment you feel like that things are like finally cooking and going well for you, meanwhile you're shaking out this bag that has no more bread in it. Pretend that this doesn't have bread in it again. I just tied it back up because we want to make sure we actually eat food and don't waste the bread. But it's like you're trying to shake this bread that has no more bread in it. It has no more bread. It's just like in any situation when you're doing something great for the kingdom, right? And then maybe you were like, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Maybe you're like a bishop or something like that. So he's like, oh, I always love talking to you. You were like my favorite person to talk to. You were great. And every single time you talk to this person, you sit down, you're like, and God just helped you understand their situation because that is what you were doing. You're in that place. And then the second that they're like, oh yeah, let's talk again because you're going to really help me. And you jump in that seat and you're ready for the revelation. And guess what? Nothing's coming because you have something else to do. You're in a new season. You're in a new place. I was humbled when I looked at my analytics pretty recently with my podcast, and I think I will upload this one to the Yield Today podcast because, I mean, even though the quality isn't the best in the world, I feel like the message is pretty sound. Like I was looking at it, I was like, oh, like the downloads are actually up right now. Like that last episode got like 19 downloads in like a week, which for me is pretty good. So okay. Clearly this is a building it up thing. This is a patience game. This is all this stuff. So I guess if I was to upload this as a podcast episode too, we probably want to wrap up what we talked about. Well, we talked about what happened for me last night, where I was going on to Steam and I had played this game, Sonic Generations, and some other games. I was just having a great time. And I'm like, dude, it'll be great. It's like I could probably do a stream to this channel and also to my Twitch, and I could like make this work. And it's like, oh, we could still sort of squeeze it together. In the very day that God has been opening my mind and be like, hey, like, I'm helping you open these new doors. Like, I can help you with the interviews. We want to get these interviews out. It's going to be good, my son. It's going to be good. And here am I trying to go back to something that was great, but it's no longer for me. Even if I wasn't actually doing it, even if I wasn't actually clicking the stream button, I was thinking about it. There's danger in that. And then we talked about this analogy that, see, this bread's literally expiring like tomorrow. So that's why this is the perfect thing. It's like you got all this bread and it fell out so easily because there was tons of stuff in the past. But now you go back to it and you're shaking it like crazy. You're doing everything you can possibly do. And all you're going to get is crumbs, no matter how long you do it, because it was a temporary thing. Whereas what I'm doing now, I think it's going to last longer, and we're just going to keep getting good stuff. When I shake it out, there's not going to be, we're going to leave no crumbs. There's going to be nothing but crumbs, or nothing but good stuff. So, yeah, I think we got to close this up, especially if I'm going to upload this straight as a podcast episode. So, your surrender is going to take you farther than the hustle. I've seen this enough times. I'm learning to accept it, and it's that obedience. It's like, okay, like I'm trusting that you can do more than I know is possible. I've done a lot of writing. I've done a lot of things for my Yield Deeply newsletter. Maybe I could have a copywriting job. Make way more than I ever made for the startup. Like the startup was fine. It was great. It was a temporary thing for me though. Maybe I could work for them in the future after I do this copywriting thing. I don't know. It'd be fun to work for those guys again, truthfully. But now is not the time. Now is the time to shake out the current blessings as much as humanly possible and not do what I did last night where I'm kind of fantasizing and such, because that led to me sleeping in. And I don't want to miss out on God's blessings that are new every morning. I don't. So, probably going to eat some sandwiches. But before I do that, we're going to end this with a quick testimony. I know that Jesus is the Christ. I know that he knows what we need. I know that he is able to do anything in our lives, and that he's leading us to things that are way better. And as we trust that and be patient with that, we will surely see his hand outstretched in our lives, and we will be able to succeed gloriously in this life and to experience all kinds of amazing things. So, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you have not already and like to see more of this kind of stuff. And yeah, I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Thank you so much for listening. We're just going to keep going, keep learning from this journey. Grateful that we got this out there. I think this will be useful for people. Take care. Bye-bye.